So I'd spent the last week or so in Tennessee, attending my sister's wedding and spending some time with my brothers and their families. And from there, I went to Birmingham to my parents' house as a stopover to rest up for a few days before bouncing around the country. My parents have lived in this house for about 8 years, and before I moved to Albania, I lived here for a few months. So I spent some time looking through all of the things stored here. I'm not sure how long it will be before I return to the US, especially to this house in Alabama. So I wanted to get anything that I would actually keep, and either put them in a specific storage box or bring them home with me to Albania. I spent some time working on the apparel brand that I'm starting, trying to figure out the finances for it, and ordering samples, making adjustments, ordering more samples, trying my best to make this something I'm proud of and can fully stand behind.
It's so many different things that like I could use my PayPal credit card every time I'm like buying a new camera or whatever.
And in the middle of all of this, I had to take a quick trip to Colorado. The organization I work for in Albania has an office in Estes Park, and I flew out there to give some presentations for a few groups that have faithfully donated to our work throughout the years. I had a little bit of free time while I was there, so I was taken around on a short driving loop through Rocky Mountain National Park. And while it was the most off-season you could get, we were still presented with some incredible views and even saw a bit of wildlife. I've not spent much time in Colorado before. It is very different from Alabama, where I usually go when I return to the US, which has made me realize yet again just how diverse the landscape of the United States is. And if I ever moved back, I would spend so much time exploring all the nooks and crannies of this giant country. And then I met a friend that I know from my time in Hawaii. Let her cat sit on me just long enough to take a clip, and was off to the airport to head back to Birmingham. So as most of you know, I have been working on creating an apparel line, and this is one of the first designs. I've been working on the designs. I worked with an artist for a little while, and then decided I wanted to try it for myself. And so I've been spending hours. I drew this on the plane, traced it on the plane on the way to America. I have a few different designs on different kinds of things. I have this design on a white t-shirt. And then on the back of all of it, there's a map with a pin exactly where the photo is taken or where this design is from. I have it also on black. This sample didn't turn out too well. As you can see, some of the waves are not there. And then for some reason, the printer just forgot the map on the back. See? It's just not there. The one I'm wearing has a map on the back printed just fine. Same company printed a different sweatshirt, didn't have the map. So these are just samples. I'm still working out kinks. Hopefully pretty soon I'll have everything up and ready to go for anyone who wants to buy any. There's a black t-shirt with a different design on it. And then outline of Albania with the city highlighted right there in Theth. And then I'm also doing these little, you can get prints that are about this size or like a 20 by 20 centimeter, 6 by 6 inches, 10 by 10 inches, and 12 by 12 inches. If you like those, I think that this size is the best. And then I have all 4 designs in this, that Pogardet's design, and then there's one Tirana design right now. And I'll be making more and more designs as we go. But this would be cool. I want to get all of these designs on, like, have a tile wall. I think it would be cool. But yeah, stay in the loop. You can sign up for my newsletter. I'll send out a announcement when everything's ready and the shop is live, and then I'll also announce it on here. So the newsletter link is below if you want to sign up for that. I'm excited. This is something that I've been thinking about for a long time, working on for a few months, and I still have some work to do to set up a good looking shop, but I think it's something that can grow, and it's something that can grow. It isn't reliant on knowing my YouTube channel to be able to grow. If people know these places, if people know Korcha and they like the Korcha Cathedral, whether they're a tourist or an Albanian, they may want this kind of design. So, yeah, I gotta get ready to go. We're heading to Ohio via Atlanta and Knoxville, Tennessee. Kind of a roundabout way, but we're heading to Ohio. So my dad and I were headed to Ohio. The plan was to go to his childhood home and have him walk around and reminisce, and mostly document the house before it was possibly going to be torn down in the near future. But we had a few places to stop before we made the drive up to Ohio, the first of which was Atlanta, Georgia. Basketball has been a huge part of my life for over 20 years. It was what I used back in Idaho to get away from reality and retreat into my own world. It was what got me to college and basically the only reason I stayed in college. It has been so impactful and influential in my life, but not only as a player, also as a fan. Throughout my childhood, we would watch reruns of the 2003 NBA playoffs, and I became obsessed with the San Antonio Spurs. I have followed them since then. The team has had its ups and downs, and with me living in all sorts of time zones over the years, sometimes it was hard to watch many games. And despite it being a childhood dream, I never had a chance to attend a live game. So when I saw that they played in Atlanta, a 2-hour drive from my parents' house, during the time that I was in the US, I immediately texted my dad to see if he was interested in going to a game with me. and we also invited my nephew and one of his friends to join. It was a surreal experience watching my favorite team play, especially now with a promising young player that could be instrumental in bringing the franchise back to prominence. Even though they didn't win, it was easily one of the most entertaining second halves of a basketball game that I've ever seen. And considering I'm not sure when I'll be back in the States, and I don't know if I will ever get this opportunity again, it was a memory that I will cherish forever. My nephew left with his friend back to Savannah, while my dad and I got on the road to continue our trip to Ohio. We drove towards Knoxville, where we would stay for the night with my sister Margaret Ann and her new husband Stephen. And as we drew closer to Knoxville, the road got more and more treacherous, as we drove straight into one of the worst winter storms that East Tennessee has seen in decades.
Granted, your car hasn't moved an inch since it started snowing. So that's like all of the snow.
Yeah, nothing.
What did I do this time?
Oh, I actually just like $50.
Yeah. Even,
Because he lived in the basement.
like, I could run.
And we decided to take the next morning slow. While the snow settled outside and the bitter wind blew, we sat at the dining room table to get some work done.
What book have you always wanted?
That bacon looks so good. No, it looks so good. It was not sarcasm. And Margaret Ann and Stephen prepared a big breakfast, while I helped.
That's making eggs.
I thought you were putting these into a saucepan. I was very confused why you were
Cutting them out.
putting grapefruit into a saucepan.
It's actually an orange.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes. You said on the back, I don't like a grapefruit, but I'm an orange.
So we feasted on pancakes, bacon, and fruit, and looked at the forecast. We realized that if we tried to continue on to Ohio, the roads would likely be more dangerous than they were the night before when we drove into Knoxville. Because what often happens is that the temperature warms up just enough to melt some of the snow, but then drops below freezing again, causing whatever melted off to turn to ice. Oh boy. I'm glad I brought these boots. So my dad and I decided that we would cancel our trip to Ohio and just spend more time with my sister. And we cleared some snow from the driveway and the cars so that they wouldn't be covered by a solid sheet of ice. And we ventured out onto the slick back roads to pick up some supplies for the next couple days, stopping along the way to help someone push their car out of the snow.
So you have a
You got it out.
What's that?
You got it out.
Yeah, no problem.
And Stephen didn't make any progress on the stairs while you did it.
I made some.
I was gonna put my shoes on, and you can.
Okay, I just put them
were
on to
you
step
wearing my
outside.
shoes?
Yeah, I just put them on to step outside.
Okay. I wasn't intending to wear your boots.
Are we going to the store now?
Yep, let's do it.
Okay, well, let's switch shoes then.
It could take all day.
What?
When was was the last time Knoxville had this much snow?
Oh, it's been apparently since '93.
Okay, not all
Really?
that long.
Yeah.
30
Huh.
years.
Why are you laughing?
30 years seems like quite the gap between large amounts of snow.
She said Kroger was open.
Yeah, she was mad about it. She was like, yeah, we're open. Such beautiful little houses.
Sorry, I like to speak in riddles. What is this person doing? That's not correct.
Knoxvillians are handling the challenge of heavy winter weather. So far, I think the answer is pretty well.
Malk. Well, didn't we just
We'll get some flour.
Oh, we have apples.
just go through and ask everyone if we needed more fruit?
I'm opening up the back for you.
Later in the afternoon, the sun started to come out, and I sat on the front porch soaking in as much as I could while I chatted on the phone with my friends Tyler and Tino. And because we've been sitting around inside the house almost the entire day, we all needed to get some exercise. And we wanted to enjoy the bit of sunlight that we were given before the temperatures plummeted again that evening.
When you've taken flight, worlds below diminishing and clear, whisper in your ear, you can fly like the angels. You can live like a fairy tale.
Stabilization on this is actually decent.
Midnight roadways, endless where you are. Here among the stars. Full speed through your dreams.
Glad I was recording during that.
Spread wings over memories. Scattered thoughts like shells across the shore. Shine on something.
Thank you.
You can fly like the angels.
Just his eyeball.
You can live like a fairy tale. Galaxies and midnight roadways, endless where you are. Here among the stars.
And after we got back from the walk, and my sister finished up some dinner prep, the sun hit just right, and golden light lit up the little house. Oh, you made bread?
Yeah. I was trying to decide if I should make honey butter or not.
I would love some honey butter too.
Right. It's for magic. You can have a tiny touch.
So we feasted again, for the second time that day, on an incredible beef stew and some of the best sourdough bread I've ever eaten. It was so good that it made me want to start baking my own sourdough. Maybe that's a journey I'll embark on when I get home to Albania. And the next morning, after a breakfast out, my dad and I got back on the road, which had now been cleared enough that our drive back to Birmingham would go smoothly.
Suddenly, to ale is hot, and with it the and fear renewed, then said no more, and turned and went swiftly from the hall. And the cloaked man...
While I'm in the US, I'm trying to take advantage of things that I can't experience at home. I don't get to watch live sports much in Albania, so while I'm here, I try to go to as many games as I can. And a local university in Birmingham has been having a really good season this year. So when I talked about wanting to go to one of their games, someone on Twitter offered me some tickets. So on a Saturday evening, I found myself sitting courtside at an NCAA basketball game, which was yet another experience I'm not sure I will have again, and I'm very thankful for it, and super happy that I got to help my dad experience that as well. And I spent some time at my parents' house, relaxing and recharging from a lot of travel and building up the energy to set out on the next trip to Savannah, Georgia. Thanks for sticking with me. I'll be back soon.